Oh, hello folks. Well, you've caught me sat down doing a bit of editing for this channel and my other channel as well. Let's just pop my computer down there for a minute. Just finished uploading the first video from our recent caravan holiday, so you'll be seeing that very soon, and I'm about to edit the second video. I think there is a third video. There might be a fourth video from that break in Ambleside in the Lake District, which we all enjoyed, even Daisy May. Yes, even Daisy May, who enjoys lounging on the sofa most of the time. But we went out and about, didn't we? We had lots of different things to smell. I think Molly got a tick. Well, I think it was from there. Apparently ticks can be quite prevalent. Is that prevalent? Is that the right word, Daisy? What would you know? Anyway, ticks can be quite prevalent where sheep are near. And excuse me, the washing machine's on. Of course, I'm washing. It's sunny at the moment, but it's due to rain later, so hopefully I can get those out on the line. I don't know how long she'd had the tick, but I found it last week, hidden away just about here. And I went, ugh. I phoned Mark as a matter of urgency. I said, bring a tick remover home. Stop off at Pets at Home and bring a tick remover. Ugh. Yeah, you're supposed to pull the ticks out whole. You're not supposed to like put anything on them to kill them while they're actually, because once they're in the dog's skin, you've got to pull them out properly. Because apparently, I had to look this up, because when I first saw the tick, I didn't know if it was a tick. I thought it looked like a skin tag. It was very pale in colour, but apparently if it's pale in colour, it means it's not sucked out a load of blood, because they turn darker. So I looked it up and I thought, yes, that is definitely a tick. But what they do, they latch on, and apparently their saliva acts as a sort of a glue, and it sort of, it sounds horrible. So anyway, we got the tick, well, Mark got the tick out, and that was fine. So on the caravan front, you'll see what happened during that that holiday, which on the whole was a good one. But Mark noticed that Kevin, our Skoda Karoq, you know, he's fine. Kevin's fine on the motorways, fine on the flats, but he does struggle a bit going up hills. Mark did notice it. He said it's the gears that take the hammering. Apparently it's an automatic car, it's petrol, but he said that it's not the engine that takes a battering when it's straining to get up a hill. Well, straining's a bit much. Kevin just struggled a bit. You could hear him labouring a bit. Anyway, Mark likes his cars, and he normally changes his car every 3 years, but we've not had Kevin 3 years yet. But because of the experience with towing Karen, he wanted to look into getting a bigger car, or you know, maybe a diesel with a bit more horsepower, so we can pull the caravan much easier. But also, if we ever decided to upgrade the caravan to one with fixed single beds, which is going to be heavier than the one we've got, then we'll have a car that can cope. So we went to my mum's on Sunday. Despite government guidelines, I hugged and kissed my mum, you know, not really allowed to until the 17th, so broken the law doing that. But every time, I think there was only one time early on when I saw my mum that we sort of foolishly kept our distance, but after the first time, you know, hugs were given and received. So anyway, I went to my mum's, who lives near York. Mark was wanting to look at a Volvo, and I thought, oh yes, Volvo, that might be good. You know, I like Swedish things. I like IKEA. I like ABBA. I thought, well, yes, a Volvo might make a change. So we went to this Volvo garage in York to look at a car that Mark had seen online. It's second hand. So anyway, we got in there. He starts talking to the woman behind the Fort Knox area that they have now in public spaces, don't they? And he was asking about the car and whether we could get a test drive, and it has to be booked, you know. But while Mark was talking to this woman, the phone rang and she stopped talking to Mark and answered the phone. I thought that was extremely rude, and so did Mark. He didn't say anything, but I've worked in retail a long time, and I know that one thing you do not do is answer the phone when you've got a customer in front of you. And that got my back up. Oh, that sun, it's gone. Anyway, I got me back up over that. So we couldn't get. It's all a faff. So there was a couple of Skodas in the actual thing, you know, unlocked. So he sat in the driving seat bit. I always sit in the back because normally, unless it's a shorter journey, I sit in the back. Because if it's a longer journey, we have the dogs in a carrier on the back seat. I sit next to them so they can see me, and I can unzip the top of the carrier and give them a stroke or give them a treat, whatever. So I always sit in the back, and believe you me, if I had to spend more than 10 minutes in the back of either of those Volvos, I would have needed a chiropractor to sort out my back, because I'd just get in on it. It was like, you know, you're really upright. It was like sitting on one of those desks at school, you know, the chairs at school. Those hard wooden chairs. I don't know what they have at school nowadays. I expect they have lounge, you know, probably armchairs to sit on at school, don't they? Sort of lounge back. But when I went to school, we had wooden desks with lift up lids and an inkwell. But we had these chairs and you had to sit up like that. That's what it was like sitting in both these Volvos, and I was quite vocal. Apparently, well, I didn't realise that people could hear me, you know. I was sat inside the car. The door was open though, but I assumed once you're in a car they can't hear you, but they must have done. Anyway, the whole experience, I said to Mark, no, you're not getting a bottle. Well, it's his choice initially. I said, don't like them. He wasn't very happy with that, the way he was treated by the woman. So, and then I said to him, look, why don't we wait until the next holiday, because we're going away in about 4 or 5 weeks to Wales. I said, we'll go on the next holiday and see how Kevin copes again, and then decide whether you want to upgrade your car. So he thought, yes, okay, I'll see how it goes. But Mark being Mark, and I know what he's like, once he gets an idea of getting a new car, that's all he thinks about. So, you know, every time I looked around to see what he was looking at on his laptop, it was cars. Anyway, he was out walking Molly a few days ago, and he suddenly, for some reason, thought of looking at getting a Skoda Kodiaq, which is like a bigger version of what we've got. I said, well, I did say to him, why don't you just see get a Skoda, you know, a more powerful Skoda, because he likes the Karoq. I did mention a Mazda, which we sat in before we got the Skoda. I quite liked it. It was a big SUV type. But anyway, he looked on the internet, and lo and behold, in Preston, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away from us, he found an 8-month-old Skoda Kodiaq with a tow bar fitted. Normally, if he had the Volvo, he would have had to pay another £1,500 to have a tow bar fitted. And he had to have a tow bar fitted to the Karoq. And the Skoda tow bars, they tuck away. You press a button in the boot and they pop out, and you lock them in the position, and then you press the button again and just knock it with your foot, and it tucks away when you're not using it. But this 8-month-old Kodiaq has the tow bar, and it hadn't been used because you could tell from the pictures it was still shiny. You're supposed to, you don't want a shiny ball on your end of a tow bar when you're towing a caravan. It's got to be sandpapered down. It's got to be rough. If it's too shiny, I don't know if it'll slip off, but anyway, you've got to put a bit of sandpaper over the top, get rid of the paint that's on a brand new tow bar. So it had the tow bar. It's got all the things he wants. It's got a big sunroof. I think even in the back it's got little privacy blinds or sun blinds for me. It's got a socket in the back to plug my iPad in and stuff. But it's a big car. It's bigger than what we've got, but it's a diesel. It's a lot more horsepower, but it takes 7 people. Yeah, because it's got an extra row of 2 seats at the back, but we'll never use those. But they fold down, so when they're folded down, you have a nice big boot. And if the back, well, the middle row they call it, if the middle row are folded down, you've got huge capacity. So I'm thinking, well, that's going to be useful when I need to collect a load of vacuum cleaners to my storage unit to sell. I'll be able to get, I don't know, maybe an extra 4 or 5 vacuums in. I don't know, I've not seen it, but anyway, yesterday he wasn't home for sort of 5:30, and I thought, and then it got to 6 o'clock, and I thought, well, he's not gone to the supermarket because we went to M&S on Sunday, so he doesn't need any food. And I thought, I bet he's gone to Preston to have a look at that Kodiaq. And I sent him a little email about something, some YouTube video I wanted him to watch, and he responded by saying, I'm in Preston looking at the Kodiaq. It's lovely. So I thought, right, he's having it. If he describes the car as lovely, it means he'll be getting it soon. So he went all the way to Preston. Unfortunately, he was caught in a big traffic jam because there was an accident on the M20. Is it M25? M25. Is it the M25? I think it's the M25 he was on. That big road to Manchester. So he was stuck in there for ages. But he'd sorted it. He's got it's a Skoda garage, and apparently this 8-month-old Kodiaq, it's white, which the only downside, it's white. It belonged to a manager at that garage. So it's got all the bits, front and rear parking cameras, everything. And the fact that it had the tow bar, it was like, wow, perfect. You know, it's got everything we need. Anyway, we're not getting it for a few weeks because Mark's paying to have 4 mud flaps fitted because it's a big car, big wheels, and being white, he wants to try and restrict as much mess going on the side of the car. And he also thought that having mud flaps might help prevent any stone chippings from flicking up and hitting the caravan when we're towing. So he's having the mud flaps fitted, and he's also having some protective coating put on the outside. He's done that with every car he's had. So they're doing that. So I expect in a couple of weeks, one Saturday, he'll be going over. So we've got a new car to tow the caravan, and the good thing is, which I'm rather pleased about, because it's absolutely, apparently he says it's huge inside capacity, we'll be able to carry everything that we normally carry in the car. We have a roof box that belongs to my mum, which we put the awning in, and the new windbreak thing and other bits for the awning. But he says the car's so big we can put the awning and all the bits inside the boot. We'll just carry on pulling the caravan with what's normally in it, but we'll also have space for my little tabletop dishwasher, because he does now. He thought it was a silly thing for me to buy, but now he's quite keen on us taking it. So we should be taking the dishwasher to Wales. It won't fit in the caravan, but we think it will go in the awning on our cupboard thing. All we need is an electric point, which we can take an extension lead from the external power socket on the caravan, feed it down the side of the awning so we can plug it in, and all we need is a longer drain hose that can go either into the drain if we're on fully serviced pitch, or into the waste hog if we're not on fully serviced. And the thing is, you don't need water supply, because the dishwasher I've got, which I'll show you at some point, you fill it with a jug. So you fill it from the top until it makes a bleeping noise, Then you load it up, put in the detergent, turn it on, and then the water that you fill it with is enough to wash and rinse all the dishes. And I've used it in the kitchen, and it works just like a big one. So that'll be good to have. It's a complete indulgence, yes, and people say, oh God, why do you need a dishwasher? You don't need a dishwasher. Nobody needs a dishwasher, but it's very nice to have a dishwasher. When you're used to having a dishwasher at home, to go away in your caravan and have to wash up by hand, it's a bit... yeah, I know. I can hear myself saying it, and oh God, you don't need one, but I think it'll be great because once we've had our breakfast, it'll fit all our breakfast things in, no trouble. We can just pop it on when we go out, come home, it's all clean. It'll go on twice a day because it'll do our breakfast things and then it'll do our lunch and dinner items. So we should be able to fit that in the car, or because I think we might be even be able to get it in the caravan. I'll have to see how heavy it is. It's fairly heavy, but it'll certainly go in the new car. I'm quite excited to have a look at it. But I like the Skoda we've got. Much more practical than the car that went before. Mark had a Honda Civic, which couldn't tow the caravan. That's why he changed the car, because there was no... Because it has the Honda Civic he has a central exhaust, and there's nowhere you could fit a tow bar, so can't tow a caravan with one. So that's why he initially changed to the Skoda. But since using the Skoda, he's found it is lacking a little bit of oomph, and so that's what we've done. Well, what he's done. But I'm quite happy with his decision. I haven't seen it, but if he says a car's lovely, then I'm sure it'll be fine. But basically, he drives it most of the time, you know. And if the seats are as comfortable as the seats in the Karoq, which I'm sure there will be, then I'll be happy. And I've got even more leg room because it is a bigger car. So yeah, really pleased. So that new Skoda Kodiaq will be towing Karen off to somewhere in Wales. I can't remember where, but in June we're going off to Wales. But I hope you enjoy the videos coming up that I filmed in Skelworth. Is it Skelworth or Skelwithfold? I got it wrong in the first video. I put a little dude. Skelwith, or is it Worth? Anyway, it's in Ambleside. Bit hit and miss that caravan park, but I'll explain why in the video. It's mainly to do with a bit of customer service we weren't very happy with. We won't go back, basically. But it was nice enough, you know. No complaints. So, well, yes, actually, no, there was complaints. That's why we're not going back. But anyway, it was okay. It wasn't... We both enjoyed the holiday, let's say that. But as we were walking on one of the walks we did in the Lake District, we're sort of reminiscing on which has been our favourite holiday so far in the caravan. We've not had that many. With the lockdown, of course, we've had less than we were hoping to have. But we both agreed, despite the fact this was not on a fully serviced pitch, it was just, well, basically it was just electric hookup. But we both agreed that the best holiday so far was in Whitby, because we had lovely weather. It was a fairly basic caravan park, but it was well within walking distance of Whitby town centre, not far from the beach. We had some lovely walks with the dogs. Mark enjoyed his fish and chips on the last day, and it was really, really nice. But you know, the weather helped. But yeah, looking forward to going to Wales, looking forward to going to Norfolk, and then finally our main holiday, which we're going for 10 nights, I think, is somewhere in Dorset or Devon, one or the other, I can't remember. So it'll be nice. Now we've got getting a bigger car for that longer journey from Yorkshire to Devon. It's going to be quite a trek. It's all right for me because I'm in the back, like Lady Mark, of course. I can recline my seat in the Kodiaq. I'll have me packed lunch. You know, I'll have me drinks. I'll have my iPad. I'll have my iPod. I'll have my wireless headphones that block out all the noise. So I'll be all right. Mark's the one that has to do all the driving. So basically for me it's just like having one of those automatic cars that we're supposed to be getting in the future. I've basically had one all my life. I just normally sit in the back, often fall asleep. 2 minutes before arrival, I sort of wake up and think, oh, we're here. So, but I think Mark likes driving and stuff, but it's going to be a bit of a long drive. We'll obviously have to stop off a couple of times at least for the dogs, toilet break, etc. But I'm just hoping that all the holidays we've got booked we'll be able to go ahead. But we don't know, do we? We don't know what's happening. Things are relaxing a bit in the UK. But as I mentioned earlier, it's not the 17th of May yet. Only on the 17th of May have the government told us we're allowed to hug friends and family. Now, if you don't think there's anything wrong with that statement, you're watching the wrong person. If you think it's okay for the government or anyone to dictate to you when you can hug someone you love or a member of your family, your friends, what has the world come to? Anyway, I'm trying not to think about that. I am a lot more positive. Getting out in the nature. It's just, you'll see from the few videos I've done a few sort of little walks. Just getting out in nature, hearing the birds, hearing the sheep, the lambs screaming. Well, they don't scream, they sort of make a funny noise. It does sound like a child screaming sometimes, but just getting out in nature, breathing the air, just surrounded by lush green and water, and it just makes everything just go away. All the troubles, you forget about them, and then you've had a lovely walk and you come back to your nice little caravan, you have a nice little lunch, and then a bit of a read of your book, and then a bit of a snooze, and then you get your energy back, and then you go for another little walk. Yeah, that's the way to be. Just forget. And I have to say, apart from seeing people with masks on in, we went to Kodiaq and Ambleside mainly. Most people weren't wearing the masks, I'm pleased to say, outside. There were people sitting outside pubs and cafes, normal looking. It was just occasionally, obviously, if you went in a shop, you put your mask on and stuff. But very few people were wearing the masks out. And had I said to Mark, if I see anyone wearing a mask when we're out walking up the fells, I'm going to say something. Because there's absolutely, completely no reason for wearing a mask. Well, outside anyway, it's debatable whether masks are any use. They're actually more of a hindrance. In fact, there's good news on masks in the UK. I think they're stopping them in schools very soon. I can't bear wearing a mask for 20 minutes or so when I'm in a supermarket, and so there's no way I could have worked a shift where I used to work with a mask on. I feel I can't go on a train if I have to wear a mask. I want to go down south at some point on the train, but I'm not sitting on a train for 2.5 hours or so with a mask on. I just couldn't do it. I just can't breathe. I can't wait to whip that bloody thing off and go, breathe the air. But anyway, forget about that. It's just, well, we can't forget about it, can we? Fortunately. But anyway, I'm feeling more hopeful, more optimistic. Weather's been a bit changeable since we came back. Lovely weather in Ambleside, more or less. We had one day it was a bit rainy, sunshine and showers. But since we've come back, the weather has been very changeable. We've had some nice sort of bits of sun and then rain. I think we've had the best of the sun today because it's gone in. So I don't think my washing is going to finish before I can hang it out. So that'll have to go in the dryer. Anyway, that's it. Just a bit of an update. The next video you see will be the first video I made when we're on site in Ambleside. And then there'll be one or two videos after that. Again, featuring our little Lake District holiday. So that's it. I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Please thumb up, subscribe, blah blah blah. Smash the bell icon, whatever, do what you want to do. But hopefully you'll be here for some more videos a bit sooner than later. Oh gosh, I don't know what I'm thinking. Oh, shall I edit that out, Daisy? She's asleep. So I have that effect. I have that effect on my. Oh shit! I've woken up. Here you are. Look. Say goodbye to the viewer. Goodbye. Oh, I know. That's how most people look at me. Nutty as a fruitcake. Oh, I know. It's about time she had her midday treat. Do you want your midday treat? Do you want your dental stick thing? Takes you half an hour. Oh, she's just belched. Yes, I think that means yes, I do want it. Okay, I'll get it for you. You want your treat. She does want a treat, folks. So enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.